Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Glenn Lewis, and you know I got soul.
All right, Glenn. So, preparing to release a new album, Moment of Truth. Do you look at this like as your moment of truth? What does it mean to you?
I mean, you know what? Funny enough, in a lot of ways, yeah. The title, though it didn't originate from that, it obviously, needless to say, anybody hearing it kind of feels like there's that correlation of, like, yeah, like it's been a minute, so, there's that anxious anticipation that I've received from fans, and the actual title itself, it really came from in the process of making the album, wanting it to be very personalized. I think any artist's expression is signature to what they do. So it's like there's millions of love songs that have been created, but and for the most part, that's usually the theme for a lot of songs. There's some, socially conscious songs and different, but for the most part, love songs have existed, forever.
Right.
From sonnets to just whatever. And it's like, to what's signature to me, I wanted to show evolution in the actual conversation pieces, making them personal, understanding that, my demographic is women, so I want them to be able to have fun with me. Like, that was a big deal for me. It's just having fun, and each song, we had talked about just taking it one song at a time, me and the producers. So each song, leaving my soul, my heart in the booth, each song kind of becomes a moment of truth. Each conversation piece is a moment of truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And sonically on this project, what type of direction we're going for? You're known for like a timeless neo soul sound.
Yeah.
Were you gonna stick to that same lane, or were you looking to evolve a little? Like, talk about it.
I mean, definitely. I wanted to be able to display evolution. There's those elements that are there. I think people have sort of become familiar with me from taking that approach, so I think it's somewhat expected for me to add those elements. But I mean, R&B music is R&B music, neo soul is an interesting sort of title. I think it's just, some people have different influences, so they may express them a certain way. It's like, if you understand my take, and it's like Adele is as much of a pop act as Taylor Swift, but it's not, it's not like Adele is a certain category and Taylor is a certain category. It's popular music.
Right.
So I think with me, it's like, it's R&B, and with respect to the traditions of R&B and my heroes and pioneers that have come before me, that element's always going to be there. I think the one thing I can say about this album, because it's coming from like my Philly fam, a lot of the producers that I worked with, it's all Philly, so you get those tinges of that kind of like Philly international soul type feel, just because pretty much anybody that's in and around that area, from Philly or Jersey surrounding area, that influence is there. The music is heavily influenced from that particular era, so you do hear a lot of those tones in this album.
Right. And do you feel like, a lot of people know you from World Outside My Window? Mm-hmm. Some people didn't, really catch on or back for more. Do you feel like this is kind of a reintroduction? You've had some singles over the years, but this is the album here. Do you feel like a reintroduction?
Yeah. Matter of fact, this is a great time, man. It's like, keep it all the way real. The game is very fickle. You know what I'm saying? And if you, for one reason or another, people may not necessarily know what's happening behind the scenes. But if you step away for too long, people move on to the next thing. So the fact that I could stay relevant, to this point, and for people to recognize that, just me as an artist, and for there to be a lane created, an opportunity for me to be able to share again. I mean, that's it's a real blessing. I'm real grateful to be able to be in the position that I'm in.
Right.
And I think, given the opportunity, I want to be able to like show, evolution creatively and stuff like that. But there's been glimpses here and there, like records like Storm.
Right.
Good One still kind of has like, it still has sort of those elements. Neo Soul element. But yeah, you know, I feel like I definitely still have a lot more to say, and I'm glad to be able to be in a position now to get, you know, to get the music out and
Right.
for people to see, you know, get a chance to actually hear through the music, like the process, where I've been, where I'm going.
Right.
So yeah.
You got the single out, Can't Say Love. You know,
Right.
it's getting a good response, doing well on radio.
Yeah.
How'd you decide on this as the right single to, you know, lead this project and get that reintroduction?
Actually, you know what? I gotta be real, man. In doing the song, you know, I thought it was a great song. I thought it complemented the body of work, but I wasn't really, I didn't really hear it right away as a single.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's really the importance of having the right people around you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't really necessarily hear it, but they kind of sold me on it. Like, no, like really pay attention to what you have here. You know, like I think one of the ways I heard it described to me was that, you know, Glenn, you got to think of it from the standpoint of from the standpoint of your fans.
Right.
Where a woman is concerned, it's like poetry, you know, but not the corny type of poetry. It's like the way that it's stated. It's like it's like an honest moment. You know what I mean? And even for, say, a dude hearing it's like, oh, I could play this for my girl and really be able to express
Right.
what maybe I haven't been able to put together in words. So I was like, okay, that's powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, performing it's a joy. Like I like
Yeah.
performing it. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, you know, it's that real heartfelt. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you always get the best performances out of songs where you gotta really, there's that connection between what you're doing, what you're trying to communicate, and the listener, where it's an honest moment, for lack of a better word. I know I already used that, but it's like it's a really honest moment. Whereas some songs you could just have fun and, you know, you keep it light, you keep
Yeah.
it surface, and it's whatever, and everybody has fun and it's cool.
Yeah.
But I think that type of a record, it really pulls something special out because there's an opportunity that could be had that you know, you're able to make a real genuine connection with the listener.
Right. Definitely see that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So you've got the, you know, the collaboration with Melanie Fiona on this album. I know
Yeah.
it's been out on some of the websites. People have been hearing it, getting a great response there too.
Yeah.
How big is it for you to, you know, have that type of collaboration? Because we've talked to her. She's a big fan of yours. So
Man, she's all, man, look, it's funny because even when we were in the studio, she just, man, you know, the funny thing is I've sort of seen her growth over the years, and man, she's hustled and you know, burn the candle at both ends type
Yeah.
thing, going for it. You know what I mean? And you know, there's a sincerity as a result, a genuineness, you know, and the success that she's having and the continued success that she's gonna have, just growing to be, you know, bigger and bigger and more of a presence in the industry. Already a Grammy award-winning artist and easily one of the best, you know, female vocalists of this generation. You know, she's gonna continue to have success, but it's amazing in all of that, the sincerity and the humility. Like she came to me just on some regular stuff, which she my people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She came to me, she was like, Glenn, no, you don't understand. And she starts singing like specific records off of my first album, like, yo, keep it all the way real. I'm a fan, dude. I'm here for a reason. Like, yeah, we cool, but I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Because I can relate, you know what I'm saying? There's certain people I feel the same way about. And needless to say, even with her, she may not be aware of it or not, but like her voice is crazy to me. Like I've been saying, like she's top 5 female vocalists in the game to me right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, to be able to work with her and the fact that it's hometown, you know, and the effect that it could have within the community, like people knowing where we come from and, you know, trying to make something out of nothing, and you know, for us to come together, I think, you know, that was a really positive thing, and it was a great moment, man.
Yeah.
Easily one of the most memorable in my career so far.
Cool. We've talked to, you know, fellow Canadians like Melanie Fiona, like a Tamia, and they've kind of mentioned they had to come to the United States to really get the success.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to get the support out there. Do you ever feel like that?
I mean, it's difficult. I think that, you know, for one reason or another, you know, there really isn't much of an infrastructure set up for R&B music or hip hop music to really thrive. I mean, there's a couple of artists that have found success up there, and you know, that's tremendous, you know. But it's difficult, you know. It's kind of like you have like one premier female vocalist, one premier MC,
Right.
you know, kind of thing, you know. But it once that slot's taken, there really isn't a whole lot of room.
Right.
And I think really also it's the ambition to want to reach out on an international scale, because you feel like music is universal. So, you know, you're like, okay, like I understand what I got here at home, and home's funny that way too. Like the community, they're kind of like, if you could pop off anywhere else, like, you know what I mean, you got what it takes. Like they're behind you. Like even though the community is, like I'll tell you right now, like Toronto is one of the roughest cities coming up as an artist, because, you know, they're straight faced and will look at you on stage and they're looking at you like, impress me, you know, and will not budge, will not move, and it's real. So you know they contribute to your grooming that way. So, you know, I have so much love for that city, because I've often heard people say some of the toughest cities is like Toronto, Philly. You know, well, actually top two, and it just so happened that I've lived in both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and came up in both communities. So, you know, it's really contributed to me being able to get out and set the tone, and you know, just get that energy out there. And if you know, the show's got to go on regardless of whatever. You know what I mean? So you push through. But to answer the question, it's like, yeah, Canada's just. I think it's you know, gradually it'll grow and change, and there'll be more room. But I think the more artists, you know, we step away and have success, I think more opportunity will eventually open up.
Right. Now, the Moment of Truth album, I know you released in Japan already.
Yeah.
You know, talk about your fan base out there, because I know the Japanese, they have a huge appreciation for, you know, the classic sound and the music, soul music. So, what's your fan base like out there?
Actually, crazy enough, I went to Essence Fest this year, and there were some guys that flew in from Japan specifically, like knowing that I was going to be there.
Wow.
And because I was like, okay, how long is the flight? And they're like, oh, like 18, 22 hours. I'm like, what? So, you know, I don't know if it's all like that, but if that's any indication, like, I'm grateful, because, I haven't had the opportunity to go out there as yet, but I've seen sort of how they react to, you know, other artists and music in general. There's just this genre of music, just R&B, and you know, it's I wish the rest of the world was kind of like that. You know, just that real like appreciation, where it's like, you know, they're like connoisseurs. You know, they create their collection, they have their favorite artists, and they're willing to venture out, stretch out, and I've never heard of this person, check this person out. You know, that's what the art's for, right? It's for consumption, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the opportunity to be able to explore, and you know, they're definitely all about that. So very cool about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.